4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchinson.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I am the sports editor of the Richmond Register. We very much appreciate you tuning us in this week. As you can tell, we are back here at the Richmond Register Studios over here on Big Hill Avenue. Our producer, director, photographer, camera guy, all-around good guy, Randy Rosenbaum, a little bit under the weather this week, so we're producing this ourselves here at the Richmond Register's palatial studios. But thank you so much for tuning us in this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we will have Bailey Vanover and Jakari McKeithen from the Berea College Lady Mountaineers basketball team. They stopped by on Friday and did a little interview with us, and so we'll play you that here in just a minute. But as we always do, we like to start off the show with a recap of a week that was in Madison County sports. And of course, no doubt the biggest story of the week was the Madison Central football team taking on St. Xavier in the Class 6A state semifinals on a Friday evening. It's hard to believe. Each of the past 2 years, the Indians won just one game. But this year, they got all the way to the Final Four, and things didn't go quite the way they wanted them to. The Indians suffered a 31-21 loss. But folks, amazing run for these young men to finish up 10-4 on the season. And trust me, they came out and punched the Tigers in the mouth. And of course, you know, Central's a team that's never even been to a state championship game. St. Xavier has won 12 state championships and will be playing for their 17th state title this coming week. But the underdog Indians came in there and were not afraid, and they ran out to a 21-7 lead in the second quarter on the strength of 3 Brady Hensley touchdowns, and had a 4th and long in St. X territory just before the half. Could not convert on that, and that kind of was the turning point of the game. St. Xavier got the ball back, and 30 seconds later hit a long touchdown bomb and went into halftime down 21-14, and St. Xavier went on to score the final 24 points of the game to come up with that 31-21 win. After the game, we got a chance to talk to Coach Mike Holcomb and his thoughts on a gutsy performance by the underdog Indians.
We're just proud of our kids, just so proud of them. They played their hearts out. I've said it from day one in your interviews and everything. It's my responsibility to get us in the win column, and I take responsibility, but our kids played their guts, heart out, and just a couple plays here and there didn't go our way, and that's just part of it. Maybe, something here or there that I could have done different would have helped us maybe, but the kids just played their heart out like they have all year. There was no give in it.
Well, thanks, Coach, for all your help all year, and really a great performance from a bunch of kids. Trust me, when it was 21-7 and those scores went out across the internet, I guarantee you a lot of folks around the state raised their eyebrows and said, "Whoa, what the heck is going on in Louisville?" But the Indians definitely put up a fight, but it will be St. Xavier and a male this weekend up at Kroger Field for the Class 6A state championship. It was really that old cliche, a tale of two halves, but in the second half, Central only had 70 yards of offense. Brady Hensley had a wrist injury, which kept him out of the lineup and really slowed down the Central offense. And Hensley finished with 120 yards rushing on 24 carries, and Hagan Harrison was 8 of 17 passing for 88 yards. But terrific season for Madison Central to go 10-4 after back-to-back one-win seasons, and the season opener next year will be an opportunity for Mike Holcomb to pick up his 300th career win moving forward. So, in other news from the week, the EKU women's basketball team had a couple of home games, and they beat Union College on Monday 120-53, and they lost at home on Saturday to Xavier 73-60. On In the win over Union, we saw some history. It was the second most points in EKU program history and the third biggest margin of victory as well. Jayla Johnson, 26 points. Alice Recanati with the 19 points and 6 assists. 13 EKU players scored, and EKU shot almost 60% from the field. Came up just 2 points short of the all-time record for most points in a game for the program. So, and then there was a really offensive display there, but then on Saturday, a really low-scoring game as Xavier came in, and it was EKU trailed just 48-44 after 3 quarters, but it was the Musketeers outscoring the Colonels 25-16 in the fourth quarter to pick up that 73-60 win. Xavier was 0 of 14 from three-point range in this game, but EKU shot just 31.7% overall, and it was Jayla Johnson with 17 points, 7 rebounds, and Bridget Fox with 9 points as well. Here's video of Greg Todd talking about the loss to Xavier on Saturday.
Very competitive in this game. We knew it would be a tough game. Thought physically they were definitely a little bigger, stronger than us on the inside, and it ended up being more of a zone type game on both ends, and it was closer than the 13 points that it finished up. I thought we had chances there in the fourth quarter, just kind of slipped, but it was a hard-fought game, and certainly a game I feel like we can learn by, and we've got kind of a tough stretch of our schedule coming up. We'll have a week off to get prepared to go to Illinois, and we definitely have some areas that we will be able to improve and learn from, but I also thought we did some good things to stay in the game.
All right, well, thanks, Coach, for taking some time to talk to us after the game there. Colonels have the week off before returning to action on Sunday up at Illinois. Very busy week for the EKU men's basketball teams. Three games. On Monday, they beat Eastern Illinois 82-43. And they lost to West Virginia 80-77 on Friday, and they lost to Radford on the road on Sunday as well. In the first game of the week, EKU taking on their old OVC rival EIU. This game was only 29-18 at halftime. Pretty kind of sloppy, ugly first half, but the Colonels scored 53 points in the second half. It was Kurt Lewis with 18 points and 10 rebounds, Jansen Williams with 16 points and 10 rebounds, and Michael Marino with 15 points as well. And the 16 points from Jansen Williams pushed him over 1,000 for his career. Of course, he's a senior transfer from Marshall, so a lot of those points came at Marshall, but he was very happy to get the milestone. And after the game on Monday night, here was Jansen Williams' thoughts.
Well, it was a chance to just talk about the milestone, 1,000 points in your college career.
That's wild to me. I mean, I think back and I'm like, wow, I just walked on the campus at Marshall going to college, and a blink of an eye, and this is my 6th year playing basketball. But and I got to 1,000 points, and that was a big accomplishment. It kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. I didn't get it at Marshall, but God looked out for me. He blessed me with another year, and I took advantage of it, and I finally say I got my 1,000 points.
You didn't foul out?
I didn't foul out. I didn't get in foul trouble either. So.
All right, well, congratulations to Jansen Williams on a very memorable milestone there. So on Friday night, the Colonels headed up to Morgantown, West Virginia to take on the WVU Mountaineers. And folks, EKU led this game for 33 minutes and 17 seconds and had a 12-point lead in the first half and took a 41-38 lead in the halftime. But they just could not hold on the road in a very hostile environment. And it was West Virginia using a 12-7 run late to pick up an 80-77 win. Jansen Williams again, great game, 22.7 rebounds. Michael Moreno and Braxton Beverly both with 12 points. And then on Sunday afternoon, the Colonels headed down to Radford, Virginia to take on the Highlanders. And EKU missed its first 9 shots, but still was able to stay in this game. So they got within 2 points late in the second half, 71-69. But the Highlanders of Radford finished out the game on a 17-6 run to claim an 88-75 win. Back-to-back losses for EKU. It was Braxton Beverly, 15 points. Jansen Williams with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 blocks. EKU falls to 5-3 on the season, and they'll be back in action this Saturday against the old bitter rivals over in Bowling Green against Western Kentucky. The Brio women's basketball team, who we'll speak to here in just a minute, they had a really busy week as well, 3 games. On Tuesday, they beat Sewanee at home 66-55 to move to 5-0 on the season. And then they played a couple of games this weekend up at the Transylvania tournament. On Saturday, they lost to Transy 67-47. And then on Sunday, they lost to Alma College 70-54. In the win over Sewanee, it was Bailey Vanover, 16 points and 5 assists. Aaliyah Hampton with 12 points and 5 steals. And Destiny Combs with 12 points and 24 rebounds, which is a new Berea women's basketball single game record, 24 rebounds for Destiny Combs. So congratulations to her. On Saturday against Transy, the Lady Mountaineers actually had a 33-29 lead at the half, and everything kind of fell apart. They were outscored 26-8 in the third quarter and ended up suffering a 67-47 loss. It was Aaliyah Hampton with 19 points and Leah Parker with 8 points. And on Sunday against Alma College, the Lady Mountaineers got behind early and never could bounce back. And Destiny Combs had 15 points and 6 rebounds. And Aaliyah Hampton had 12 points and 5 rebounds in the 70-54 loss. Lady Mountaineers will be back in action Tuesday at USA South rival Maryville College. The Berea College men only had 1 game this week. They picked up a 81-72 win on Tuesday at the Seabury Center against Boyce College. It was Kavion Hudson with 19 points, Gray Charlton with 18 points and 6 rebounds, Trey Mentor with 18 points, Isaac Cotta with 9 points, and the Berea College men had 42 points in the paint, 24 fast break points, and 20 points off turnovers as they moved to 3-3 on the season. They'll be back in action Monday night at the University of Campbellsville, Harrodsburg. And some cross-country news for you. Madison Central standout Kiara O'Shea and 3 other Madison Central runners competed in the East Bay Foot Locker South Regional Saturday in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Kiara O'Shea, who's a junior, competed in the girls' championship race, and she finished second with a time of 17:13. And she will advance to the national championship next month in San Diego, California. Senior Brady Hensley competed in the boys' championship race and had a time of 15:58 and finished 60th. Shelby Lamb competed in the 13-14-year-old race. She had a time of 20:30 and finished 31st. And Amelia Reynolds competed in the sophomore race, and she finished 32nd in a time of 21:05. So that's all we got for you this week for the recap. Like I said, we were lucky enough earlier this week to be able to get Bailey Vanover and Jakari McKeithen to come in and hang out with us and talk for a while. Both old friends. Bailey's been on the show before, and we've known both of those young ladies for a long time. But they came by and talked to us on Friday, so this was before the games this weekend. But they will be here to talk about the Berea College women being back on the court. They didn't play at all last year. If you remember, in the 2019-2020 season, won the USA South Conference Championship and qualified for the NCAA Division III tournament. And then in the 2020-2021 season did not field a team. So when they got back on the court a couple of weeks ago, it was the first time the team had played in 600 days. So they'd opened up the season with 5 straight wins, and they are 2-0 in the USA South. So they are off to a good start, despite the 2 losses this weekend. But here in just a minute, we'll be right back with a little interview we filmed earlier this week with our friends Bailey Vanover and Jakari McKeithen.
Do you want to sponsor the weekly Richmond Register Sports Show? Contact the Richmond Register, richmondregister.com, and of course on Facebook or Twitter. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.
I'm here with Aiden Howard, presenting him with his 2nd annual IHOP Pancake Block of the Week for his game against Dunbar. He gets another year's worth of pancakes and another gift card. Congratulations. Thank you.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
All right, welcome back. Well, we're joined by two very familiar faces to folks in Madison County. Of course, it's Bailey Vanover, Ja'Cory McKeithen. Thank you, ladies, for coming by.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, Berea College Lady Mountaineers basketball back on the court. 600 days, Bailey. How about that between games?
It's crazy. I mean, it feels really good to be back. But like I was telling you after our last game, it just I can't believe it's been that long. But it feels good. It feels good to be back. It's been a while though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ja'Cory, you signed over there and we're ready to go, and then there's no season, so your college career got kind of put on hold for a year.
Yeah, luckily Joe Salim, he reached out to me because I also play on the women's soccer team as well. So I did the spring season on the soccer team, and now I'm on the team with the soccer. So yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk soccer here in just a little bit as well, but you guys are off to an undefeated start to the season.
That's right.
Picking up where you left off. It seems like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But, I guess talk about last year. I mean, I guess basically was they left it up to the players and the coaches whether or not you guys wanted to have a team last year, or kind of what was the process there?
Yeah, it was kind of just students at Berea, just any student. Well, not freshmen. You had a little bit of a different experience. But sophomores, juniors, and seniors kind of had the choice. You could do online classes or online learning, distance learning, and stay home, or you could come to campus and, of course, follow all the, at the time, which were really, strict COVID protocols because that's when we were really in the heat of it. But Ja'Cory, you want to talk about the freshman experience was a little different, I guess.
So freshmen had to come for the first fall semester. And then spring semester, they had a choice to come back or do online. And it was a bit different for fall because, everything was strict. And with the protocols and stuff, there was not many opportunities that freshmen could do like any other freshman in college. So, yeah.
So I think we had 6 that we're going to be able to come back on campus, and that just, you need 5 on the court. 6 is not giving you much wiggle room to do much of anything. And I think from my understanding, the season that we would have had would have been really short, and practices would have just been, kind of weird. And if
there wouldn't be no fans.
Right, no fans. And if something were to happen about COVID, that would have just, it was just going to be really hard.
Yeah, so. Yeah. The men played through it though. They've only played, I think, just 10 games. Only had 7 or 8 players. And, it wasn't not the most enjoyable experience. When I talked to Coach Milby a couple weeks ago, he said, "I'm glad we didn't do it." I don't know what you guys' feelings are, but he certainly was glad that you guys just passed on.
It's good to be back to normal now. So yeah, it feels good.
It was really unfortunate timing too. Of course, obviously the pandemic has been unfortunate for everybody, but I mean, you guys are 25-4. You'd won your first USA South championship. You got into the NCAA Division III tournament for the first time. Everything was going great and going gangbusters, and then boom.
Yeah, I know. I'm really glad that we got that first round game in, because I remember it was literally just right after that, and I'm thinking, if the first time we make it to the tournament, if we wouldn't have got to play, which I mean, Division I, of course, a lot of those games ended up getting canceled, but at least we got that one game in, so at least we got the experience before everything went to chaos. Yeah.
And Ja'Cory, you obviously wanted to be a part of that. I mean, I'm sure you had offers from other places, but what was it about Berea that made you want to be a part of what was going on there?
Besides it being close to home, I just like the diversity part of it. There was, I know there was a group, I'm part of the ESP, that's Emerging Scholars Program, and then the Carter G. Woodson Center, I really liked it there. And then other than that, free education, that too, so... Yeah, I really like the diversity part of it and how much it could impact me later on in the future, especially like my major and what I want to go after college, maybe go to graduate school, and they know how to help me and get me career ready for that. So, yeah.
Well, things are not completely back to normal down there. I mean, mostly normal. I mean, you still have to, if you come to the games, you still have to wear a mask. But you do have fans back in there. It's not a full-on schedule. You guys are only playing your own division of the USA South, but you play everybody twice. Right. So not completely normal, but obviously better.
Somewhat of a sense of it, yeah.
Better than nothing last year.
Yep.
So, all right, and you guys, and the conference schedules where you played 2 conference games last weekend, and you won't be playing another one, I think, in December, and then some in January, and it ends up being 16 full games, but it's kind of spread out and kind of seems kind of random, but.
Yeah, and I thought that our conference started kind of early, but then, like you said, I didn't even realize about that gap between.
Yeah.
We'll go play the Transy tournament this weekend, and then we go to St. Louis right after that for another tournament, and then I guess we get back into conference play after that when we get back a little bit, and then we'll have our little Christmas break. Yeah. Then hit it pretty heavy. Yeah, and you guys opened the conference with 2 wins last weekend. You beat Huntington and LaGrange, so they go to 2-0, and every game is important. Obviously, you want to get that. You guys hosted the thing 2 years ago, the conference tournament 2 years ago, and so every one of those is important. And of course, I'm assuming it'll be Piedmont again. It'll be your main rival, right? Yeah, Piedmont's always going to be up there with us, and then it just always seems like it's us, Piedmont and Maryville, kind of battling it out. But like you were saying, I think that's something that pushes us because every game is important because we do want to host it. We got that experience 2 years ago, and it just felt good to play the tournament on your home court and then also to win it. So we obviously are striving for that again. Yeah. Well, Jakari, it's kind of an unusual team this year. I mean, you got basically it's like 6 returners, 6 newcomers. You're one of the newcomers. Kind of where do you see yourself fitting in? I've talked to Coach Milby the other day, and it's funny because he said she has kind of a mean streak, and I was like, yeah, that's Jakari. We know Jakari. They really need you in there for rebounding because you really don't have a lot of height on this team, really.
I always like the transitioning. It was new to me, coming from playing high school ball to college ball. It was like all new. But at the same time, I knew I had to push, keep going forward. And then, the older kids, they would, tell me what I can do and how to improve and all that, especially, with Coach Milby and Coach McLean helping as well. So a lot of it is just, just playing my hardest and, doing what I always do. And because that also helps our team win, and it just pushes us, up there.
Yeah, well, you played in every game, averaging about 13 minutes a game, so you feel like you're kind of getting in the flow?
Yeah, I'm getting in the flow a little bit. It's I'm still a little nervous every time I step on the court, and I'm just like, it's okay, because I didn't get to play my freshman year, so this is literally all new.
Yeah, I guess you're still technically a freshman, right, with the do-over year or the COVID year, I guess?
Yeah, so I basically have another year of eligibility because the year, last year was free, I guess.
Yeah, it's confusing. Everyone's now look at the roster, and it's like their years don't match up with who they are, everything like that. So, but it is an unusual team you guys got together because you only brought 6 back. Because you and Leah are seniors, and Destiny Love's a senior, right? Yep. And then you brought back the 2 sophomores who obviously were great players last year, and Aaliyah Hampton and Destiny Combs. Yep. They were all conference players as freshmen. So you got those are the only 6 kids back that have ever played college basketball. That's
because Jakari and Dalen are the sophomores, and that's just even though they were already on the team, Milby said it the other day in the locker room. They were he's like, this is only their 4th college game. It's when you think about it, because we really have 2 groups of freshmen, because we've got the ones that were a part of this year's recruiting class and the ones from last year that never got the chance to play. So, it was just a lot of newness for them, but also for us, it had been 18 months since we had been on the court playing a game, so we were dealing with that at the beginning, and we were having to put in a lot of work, but I think we have been putting it together so far so good, so hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Yeah, we can poke a little fun at Coach Milby because you realize that Dalen Spalding, you realize he coached her in the 5th grade.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
He's showing his age there. He coached her, and he told me that in the preview. He's like, in Marion County, I coached her when she was in the 5th grade.
Yep, and now it's come full circle. She's back with him. Yep.
Yeah, that's great, though. I mean, he's had a great tradition, great history of success at high school level, AAU level, and obviously here. And he's just a down-to-earth, kind of a country guy. I mean, he really is. I think we joked last time you were here. It's kind of hard to understand what he says sometimes.
I think me and Bria were talking about that last time we were here.
All right, but it's a really interesting team. I mean, obviously, I had heard some folks say that Leo was thinking about leaving, but during the year. But then thankfully she didn't, because she
No,
was
yeah.
the USA South Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, and D3 Rookie of the Year too. So
Yeah.
yeah, she's done some great things for us.
Yeah, but I mean, it was. There's been so much movement in college basketball across all levels, and it's. I don't know if you. I mean, like I said, he only brought 6 back from, and there were some that didn't come back, and some that went on to other places, and so it's been kind of crazy.
Yep, it has been.
Yep.
But hopefully we can. We have all the pieces to put together, and we got off to a 5-0 start. We've got all the pieces, so hopefully we could just keep working and. Strive for what we did 2 years ago. Do it again.
Yeah, like I was joking with you the other day, you got to start making some free throws.
Oh, I know that.
And it's
Yeah,
not just you or you. It's all of
it's
you.
all
It's
of
all
us.
of
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Maybe that's just rusty from not playing for a while.
We'll say it's for that, and we're just hope that we get better with that stat line for sure.
Yeah. Hey, when you can miss 21 and still win a game, though, that's pretty good.
That's
So.
a large number.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, you still won the game. That's most important. But all right, well let's talk a little bit about soccer. I never could get quite a number, but you finished as the all-time leading goal scorer in Berea College. What was the number?
The record was 25, and I either had 27 or 28, 26, 27, 28, something like that. One of those numbers right above there. I had barely beaten it, but I got it, so that was exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, and. Like I said, I think people forgot you did both.
Yeah.
And you played there for all 4 years, right?
Yes. So it was, when I had come on a recruiting visit for basketball, and I came to watch one of the basketball games, and Joe Salim, the head soccer coach at Jakari, was announcing the games, because he does that, and he came over to me at halftime. He was like, "You play soccer too for Central, right?" And he really just was talking to me about the program and gave me the opportunity to play both, and I'm glad I did it, because not only does it keep me in shape for basketball season by the time it rolls around, but and Jakar can talk to that. We were ready to go. We were already in shape, but it's a fun group to be a part of. So we enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, and you jumped right in there. I think you played 16 games this year, 14 starts, so you jumped right in there too.
Yep. So I wasn't planning on playing soccer. I planned to play basketball because I just think playing 2 sports at a time at college, it would have been too much. But right now, it's going pretty good. It's going pretty steady. And, with the help from my teammates and the coaches, they understand the transitioning and, how stressful it can be. But at the same time, I like playing both. And, people ask me what's my favorite sport, and I'm like, neither. I like playing both of them. So, yeah.
Well, what's the because I know when I talked to Milby, he talked about you guys transition. Or what's the difference in the conditioning like and everything?
I can't honestly tell. It's like just running up and down the floor. But I know, when you coming from running a whole field and doing sprints down in a small court, it can be tiring. But at the same time, you're still in shape, so you're not gonna be as much as out of breath.
Yeah, that's the thing I noticed, exactly what she said. In soccer you got the big field. I think it's spread out a little bit more than basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's really short burst. And so I remember the first day of basketball practice, I was like, oh my gosh, my calves are just so sore. And I think it was just bouncing around in the short sprints. Our arms were sore, of course, since we hadn't been using them a lot.
Only throw them in and that's it. But I was like, because we had 2 days off for soccer.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it was really quick turnaround.
One day, we went for our first day off. We went to our first basketball practice. And then I think the next day we had soccer because we had a game a day after that. And I told Joe, I said, my arms are sore. Don't make me throw in a whole bunch of balls. I was like, we were shooting around a lot at our first day of practice, so yeah.
And then I think we went to, that first practice was during soccer season still, but we had a random day off. And then senior day was a Saturday, and then that next day on Sunday we had practice and picture day for basketball, and it was it was literally it was the next day, and we were right there. But like she said, even though it is different types of running and jumping and using different body parts, especially with the arms, we were still in shape, so that was the plus of it. It wasn't too bad of a transition on that part.
Yeah. No, it's great. There's a really rich tradition of local kids going to Berea College, and whether you're talking about the soccer team with Michelle Meacham, she was a Berea community girl. as well. And of course, last few years, the basketball team has had a whole bunch of Southern girls, and Brianna finally graduated. She was there for like 9 years.
Yeah, she was there for a while. I mean,
but it's great that you have some local people hang around and everything. So it makes it more interesting.
It does,
for local fans.
Like you said, Bria, and then we had Marley, and Savannah was basketball, and she's still softball there. So, yeah, it's been good.
All right, we'll talk about your. I guess you're getting ready to graduate. So tell me a little about the education side of what you're into and what your future holds.
I'm getting ready to graduate, and my degree is in health and human performance. I did a athletic training internship this past summer with EKU football, and I really enjoyed that a lot. So that might be the path I go down. That I've also considered not even doing anything with that degree and following in my mom's footsteps and becoming a teacher. So I might stay local and do that. I don't know exactly. But yeah, no, Berea has definitely pushed me on the education side for sure. I mean, it's top of the grade education, I think, and been working, we have our jobs with the school and sports. So I mean, it's a lot to balance, but I think I know it's taught me a lot of valuable skills. So I think I'm well prepared for life after graduation, even though I might not exactly know what it holds, but I'm still excited nonetheless for May to come around. It's just an exciting accomplishment. So
yeah, that's great. You touched on it a little bit. What's obviously you're just getting going, but kind of what are your future plans?
So I'm majoring in the same. She's majoring in. I'm majoring in health and human performance. I haven't really decided on my career path yet. But I do know I'm more interested in the kinesiology side, like athletic training, physical therapy, coaching, stuff like that. And so, in my work labor, I work in the office department for the HHP, and I'm a TA for a class, so I get to see different perspectives. And then with me also taking classes of my majors, it's also been helping me because my professor's been teaching us and letting us know about different opportunities of professional work and all that.
Yeah, like a lot of folks don't know, you have a work detailer down there. That's part of the whole setup. There is no tuition, but you do have a work requirement. So what's been your work requirement?
I've worked at the college post office all of my time at Berea. So my roommate Leah, she works there with me, and Aaliyah works there too. So we got a little bit of a basketball crew there at the post office. So everybody that works or has our major, health and human performance, before you graduate, you have to hold a job in that department. So next semester, I'll still work in the college post office, but I'm also going to pick up a teaching assistant job for one of the HHP classes. So I'll be doing that in the spring.
Yeah, my father-in-law went there back in the 50s and worked in the bakery.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Way back in the day. But it's been like that forever. And that's why it's a great place and a special place, Really.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely unique.
One of a kind, that is for sure. So you guys will be back in action December 3rd at the McWilliams tournament in St. Louis, and then back home after that. So if you get a chance, go out to the Seabury Center. It's I don't think they're even charging.
Nope, free admission for everybody. So come on out.
Just wear a mask. They are still having a mask requirement down there. We're just down there. Was that Tuesday when you guys played?
Tuesday.
Yeah. So you do have to wear a mask, and they are pretty stringent about that. So you do have to actually wear it. Like some places where you can they are kind of stringent about it. But come on out and support these kids. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. They had a lot of success a couple of years ago, and it's really kind of the same core of that team. I mean, not everybody, but the big part of it. So it should be a lot of fun, and maybe you can another NCAA Division III national tournament.
That's what we're shooting for. Yeah,
yep.
That's what we're shooting for.
All right, well, appreciate you guys watching. That's going to bring it into this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. We'll be back next week with another brand new episode. And as always, you can get us on Twitter at Richmond R Sports, and Facebook at Register Sports, and RichmondRegister.com. Have a great day. See you.
Do you want to sponsor the weekly Richmond Register Sports Show? Contact the Richmond Register, RichmondRegister.com, and of course on Facebook or Twitter. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by KYmedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.